Soup's hot, the man said. Whew, I knew what was going on. Soup's hot. He says, bone broth soup. Everybody come have some bone broth soup. The problem was, the man never, he read someplace before this that you gotta drink some bone broth soup. His phone was trying to tell him, you need to drink some bone broth soup. Here's what happens. His phone kept telling him, here's what happens if you eat some oatmeal every single day. Here's what happens if you eat bone broth soup. But they didn't put in the article about the bone broth soup is that you can only have bone broth soup. What? You couldn't have a cracker or a potato chip. You couldn't mix nothing into the bone broth. The man was like, I have to drink 16 beers to have a dinner like this. This is impossible. He couldn't do the bone broth diet. But the man was convinced for a short period of time, that he did a good job. He got a little less puffy on the bone broth diet, I have to admit, but this bone broth diet was a 2-day bone broth diet because he had to get a procedure, and he was worried about it. But they make you evacuate your bowels. And the man was like, good God. The man's answer to the clear, I said right away, I'm an idiotic, stupid dog. I know one thing. This man's version of a clear diet, a bone broth, chicken soup, clear liquid diet is gonna be Bud Ice in the 25-ounce cans. He's gonna drink 6 or 7 of these things. This is the clear liquid diet the man is thinking before he goes in for his colonoscopy. So you got to get a colonoscopy sometimes, and they make you starve and try to evacuate your bowels so you don't got nothing to smear on the camera that they're shoving up your wazoo. It's hilarious. But the funniest part is, the man, he comes out, he's like, I got some delicious, plain old low sodium bone broth soup. And I'm not an idiot. I'm a pretty, savvy. I'm ancient. I'm an old dog, but I'm savvy. I said, pour that over my kibbles. Them dry, stale kibbles have been laying there 3 days. I can't bring myself to eat them. Pour some of that bone broth in there. Maybe I'll make like a kibble gravy, and I can stand to eat that, that cotter fed, whatever they called it in the old days. I forget. Pour a little bone broth over my kibble. Maybe I could stand to eat it. Maybe I could stand the stink of that stale kibble that way. That'd be better for me. So anyways, the man, he staggered back away, and he came out. He forgot all about the bone broth because he's about 5 cans into his Bud Light cleanse. He's having a Bud Light ice cleanse thing with a 25-ounce can. He's working on his 4th or 5th can. He's come out, he was scarfing down orange Jello, whatever. Room temperature, kind of wiggly, jiggly, runny, orange Jello. He loves the purple and the red, but it said directly in the instructions, you can't eat the red if you want to get a good colonoscopy. You can only have orange Jello and orange pops. The man's eating a lot of Sunkist soda, and he's having a lot of orange popsicles. But he's okay. He's happy that way. I told the man, maybe you have to cut way down on the beer, but just try to have a popsicle beef broth diet. It'll be good for you that way. You'll be happy. And the man looked. He was like, I have to now. I doubt unless they put a gun to my head, I could do that. Maybe if they put a sledgehammer to my ear and we're going to blast my head away with a sledgehammer, I would say I could do the bone broth and the whatever. But if I could have a few chickpeas and a few Bud Ice, 25-ounce pounders, that would be good for me too, as well, I said. And everyone agreed. I thought everyone agreed to that. Everyone thought that was the best, whatever you would say. It was the most prescient course of action, or whatever you would say. I forget how they called it.